Hey, gonna go find some sales today. There's one in town and then there's one out of town, and I'm still trying to decide if we're gonna be able to make the one out of town. So, and after we're done, I'll show you what I got. Just pulled up to the first one in town here, and it already looks like it's super busy. It's supposed to be a good one though. Okay, so we just put one load into the car and we still got to go inside and pay for a second. I don't think we're actually going to go to Milwaukee today.
Well, let's see how much the second one is.
I don't know. It's kind of, I don't know if we're going to have time now. We are back at the house. 2 cartfuls today. Got those right here. First, I want to tell a story about when we first got there. I don't know how, but I found the exact room that I needed to go into, and it was tucked away. I walked in, went to the basement, walked around, and then walked into the tool room, which is usually a mistake because that's just a big, like, exposed basement room that's just filled with tools that I don't want. But tucked away in there was another room, and that had shelves of toys and books. And I started looking through, and I was like, great. And there's this one box on one of the shelves that said children's books, $2. And I was like, fantastic. Started looking through, and I'm like, oh, it's already in a box. And I like all these, so I took it out. And then I started taking them from the next shelf and putting it into the box. And a woman walks up to me, and she's like, excuse me, do you guys have one of these things here? And she was pointing to something, and I'm like, I don't know, I just got here. And she's like, don't you work here? I saw you're moving stuff around. I thought maybe you worked here. And I didn't. So that was right when we walked in. So somebody thought I worked there because I cleaned out that room. I just basically started emptying shelves. Got way more than I expected to. So much so, as I said, we didn't go to Milwaukee today. Plus, the amount of time we spent in there, we had a whole pile and there was a line. It was the first day, so we had the pile right by the front door because there was nowhere to put it, and we started counting it ourselves so we could just walk up and go, this is what we got. So, and there were just so many people. I didn't want to like take all of our stuff and carry it in line and make everybody wait and make the line longer. So all that happened. Now, let's take a quick look at what I got. A set of these prints here, the original prints of, I forget what they're called. They're not the, well, they're kind of like, no, sort of like the Sad Eye, same era. But they're like little dolls dressed up, girls dressed up, sort of thin things. A Sesame Street record that we recently got. I was surprised there was a poster in it, and I'd never seen it before. Well, didn't find the record at this place, but they had a copy of the poster that comes with the album. I should never unfold posters when I'm doing this. Then a Sesame Street sort of parent-teacher guide. It's like a little newspaper, Sesame Street themed for teachers. Old-time circus posters. It's only got one, but it comes in a neat little case. A little latch hook animal rug was just sitting on the floor, and I was like, oh yeah, estate sale, I'll take it. Some frame tray puzzles, got a few of those. Rowan and Martin's notepad from the Laugh-In guys. Mary Poppins picture book. So it's got illustrations, and I think it's also got pictures from the movie. Yes, it does. Mary Poppins. That was Dick Van Dyke. Then there's a How to Care for Your Dog book. And from first glance, I believe it's the same person that does Clifford the Big Red Dog. Looks very much like the same drawing style. This I just got because it was there. I don't know. I felt like I looked at it and went, do I need this? And then I'm like, you know, if I don't get it, for some reason I'll be like, I should have got that. Got it anyway. You never know. Old Halloween masks. A Gretchen paper doll set. So you got paper dolls in there, and it's Gretchen. I'm not familiar with the Gretchen line, though. A Ziggy plaque. Actually got one of these once before. Was pretty popular, so whenever I see these, I always am really happy to find them. Bunch of children's 45. Here's one with the Boy Scouts or Cub Scouts. I can never tell the difference between the two. I know there is a difference, but Boy Scouts, Cub Scouts, and apparently I can't say them together, so 45s. More frame tray puzzles, illustrated. Getting into that room with the books and the games where I basically cleaned out the shelves. They had comic books. And they had my kind of comic books, which are the 4-color sort of Gold Key and Dell comics. So you got your Disneys, you got your Looney Tunes. And also, see, this is weird. It really is right up my alley. I love the Disney sort of kids ones, but then I also like the horror ones. The horror comic books I just always thought were really cool. Whole bunch of those. Like these are, all these comics, they range from, yeah, like kids cartoons to horror comics. Another thing that they had was a bunch of old coloring books. So I got these, we got Barbie, Disney, Santa, and this one's also dot to dot. Nursery rhyme colors, and then this one's just pictures to color. Found some old records too. There's Mother Goose favorites, Johnny Appleseed, the Walt Disney version, Madeline. This one is neat. This is a Mother Goose one as well, but it comes with a storybook. So the storybook is inside there. And I've actually sold this very book before. Not the paperback one, but I had a hardcover one with this cover on the illustration. And this one comes along with the record. So they read the record and it's in pretty good condition. And it's made to look like a little golden book. And then Romper Room is always a favorite because this was such a weird show. I found some episodes of it on YouTube recently and I forgot what a weird show that was. Okay, so this was the first box of books that I grabbed. So I'm only gonna kind of just generalize these because this is filled. Got a bunch of hardcovers. We got some Little Bears, some other sort of illustrated. Most of them are from like the 60s. And I like the kind like when they have the textured cover and they're like, they just seem sturdy, but like the drawings in them seem really cool too. Plus they had a lot of these little ones. These little ones always seem to have the best artwork, especially when they're from the 60s or the 50s. Then we got some more of the I Can Read books, and I believe a few of these are written by the guy that does Little Bear. I've been finding a lot more Big Little books lately, and I'm happy when I find the ones that are by like Looney Tunes or Tom and Jerry or Woody Woodpecker, because a lot of them have the Flip It cartoons in it. And another thing I want to try to do is I want to try recreating these Flip It cartoons as like short animations. But yeah, so I got a bunch of those, and this is Tom and Jerry, Woody Woodpecker, Looney Tunes. And then a lot of paperback books. And again, most of these are between like the 60s and the 50s. So the illustration in them are fantastic, but the quality of them that I got in these, again, they all seem really sturdy. And that's surprising. Usually the older they are, the more you have to check them to make sure that they're okay. But there's a lot here. Nothing that stands out to me right now. Let's just get moving. A Richard Scarry dictionary storybook. I've gotten one or two of these in the past. I think the one I had before was red, but yeah, got a lot of that stuff there in it. Santa Mouse. Sounds like a town. Where are you going this weekend? Heading out to Santa Mouse? The Troll Music. One of those Curious George type books, only it's with different characters, where it's got a kangaroo and Katie No Pocket. Journey Cake Ho. Kid just strolling. The Big Book of Cats. Busy, Busy World, which is like the children's version of It's a Mad, 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 Mad World. Tell Me Some More. Sammy the Seal. Chicken Little. One of the original pressings of The Saggy Baggy Elephant. Betty Crocker's Parties for Children. The old Betty Crocker cookbooks, recipe books, and party books have illustration in them that people today try to recreate, but this was like during the 60s. The one color character comics and sort of not Art Deco, but sort of like a pop art style. These are the type of things that you would see people posting on their Instagrams or on their websites today. But this one's from the 60s and Betty Crocker was doing it. This is like old ad agency artwork. And that's that box. And in this other cart that you can't see because it's below the camera, some Peanuts jigsaw puzzles, another Peanuts jigsaw puzzle, and then a Mighty Mouse jigsaw puzzle. The Golden Book of Manners, and it's huge. The Chuckle Book, go, 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 go. A whole other set, like there's an entire bag here of the I Can Read It All by Myself books. And I love these ones. I like the ones when it's not Dr. Seuss, when it's things like this, like the Little Black series, which is about a pony named Little Black and the adventures him and his boy owner have. And this one, he goes to the circus. And then a few more of those types of books. A whole lot of little golden books. And my favorite ones, again, are from the 60s and the 50s. Those ones are always really good. And then some more illustrated small hardcover books like this Mary Poppins one. I love it when they did the Mary Poppins ones where they actually had them as animated characters, but they never made a Mary Poppins animated movie from Disney. Then we got some children's records here. This one has Rosemary Clooney singing Christmas songs. Then you got Gene Autry doing Peter Cottontail, Walt Disney's Brave Little Engineer, and then underneath all that are a bunch of frame tray puzzles. So this illustrated round frame tray puzzle, this bunny rabbit frame tray puzzle. I gotta hold them like this because I'm afraid they're gonna fall out. Another round frame tray puzzle, this Snow White frame tray puzzle, another Snow White frame tray puzzle with the Wicked Witch. Ooh, that one's cool. And then just a few more games, Mastermind and Tripoli, which is actually just a mat. I've had one of these before, and it's just like a plastic mat you lay out to play cards. And it's like a certain game. At least I think it is. And that should about do her. That's it. And that's just me going through it quick. There's way more here. It's just so much to cover. But yeah, didn't even make it to Milwaukee today.